Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. I, Michael Cole, here with Trini Kwan and with Wade Barrett, and today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw. First off, we want to wish everyone a happy work day, in the 4-1 Reichs and in the Settle land, since both lands have that same gathering holiday. Well, that's right, Trini Kwan said it's working day, a work day, in the 4-1 Reichs and in the Settle land. So we want to wish everyone in the 4-1 Reichs and the Settle land a happy work day. Well, I can tell you one thing, Wade Barrett said, it really has to do with something with, working guilds and things like that. And the 4-1 Reichs really didn't get that day holiday made until 1884 YL. So it hasn't really been a holiday that long. And as far as the Settle land, I don't know when the Settle land made it a holiday. But anyway, now Wade Barrett said I don't know the unlikeness between the 4-1 Reichs one and the Settle land one. So your guess is good as mine. Well, here's someone that always has something to say. No need what it is. It's Austin Theory. Oh, hi everyone. It's me, Austin Theory. And I know all you folks in the 4-1 Reichs and in the settled land are doing Labor Day, but that's a French's borrowed word, so the English word would be work day. A day where most folks get a day off, but many other folks are still working. You see, a lot of folks like to scathe the skilled wrestling business and say, oh, well, they never get time off and stuff. Well, that's one way the skilled wrestling business isn't like all the other sport businesses, because we don't really get too many. We do get days off, but the wrestling business is going all day, all long. Like me, all day and all night. So, a lot of folks have been saying shit about me ever since I came to the toy wrestling gathering from Walmart last month, or a month before that. They're like, oh, Austin Theory, you think you're so greater than everyone else. Austin Theory, why did you bully folks like Angel and Elderling Peach? Why did you start shit with Kenny Omega that you know you couldn't win? Well, first off, I'm not done as far as I'm done with Angel. And I don't know if I'm done with Elderling Peach, but as far as Kenny Omega goes, him hitting me in the head with my winnings, I haven't forgotten about that, and I'll get back to him someday. And his funny book, drawing show, film game loving self. So, anyway, I'll get back to him. So, one of the folks who've been scathing me for the way I behave and for the things I say and done, well, one of them sadly shifts out to be Trini Kwan, who probably has no business scathing me. Because the only thing Trini Kwan ever did great in her life was be the first mighty shifting Yellow Keeper from 9 between 93 while to 9 between 94 while. And then she left, was never heard again, showed up need be only 2 times in the show, 3 times after that. One at the end of Megaforce or Big Team or Over Team, and then later on in Beef Morphers or Fiend Shifters. Then showed up once and forever, but yeah, dying. So Trini Kwan, is it really worth you saying shit about me when yourself was killed off? Hey! First off, Trini Kwan says, you should not be saying anything like that. Alright, I have no run of how I was handled in the Might Keepers. But I've done a lot more good than you. And forget I was a Omega Keeper, or a Overkeeper too. You see, the 4-1 lands rest gathering was only a grounds so me and Jason and Zach would go there. And we did a lot of good, and I still did a lot of good. And I'm not dead. Oh yeah, as far as the show goes, yeah, I died in 2022 YL. But I'm still here as a doll, so you keep your mouth shut about me. Well, Austin Theory is now shifting around now. Hey, so you think you want to fight me then? We all know that you know some kind of fighting craft, but I mean wrestling, something that you're not so good at, so keep your mouth shut. Well, Michael Cole says, I didn't know Austin Theory. I didn't know you gave your thought or take or belief on Austin Theory, Michael Cole says. I can't believe that happened. Oh, it happened, Trini Kwan said. I gave my take on him, of what I thought he was behaving like. And knowing Kenny Omega, he couldn't handle being scathed. Well, at the end of the day, I don't think Kenny Omega is ever going to be on anyone's beloved list. You know, Michael Cole says he's not going to be on anyone's yo sheet list, you know, or anything like that. Hey, Austin Theory, I just heard you talking about me. Oh, and now you're picking fights with a play-by-play team. So wonderful. You know, that makes you a bully. You to talk, Kenny Omega. You like to hang out with your friends Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson and AEW, and you like to bully folks there. But in the TWF, you don't got Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson. All you got is Adam Cole, and he hasn't been your friend in years. And you thought you had Adam Page, but you know that wannabe cowboy, well, he want nothing to do with you. Well, need I say something, the Jackal says, or Cyrus says? Kenny Omega, you are, Austin Theory, you are one of those upcoming young wrestlers that WWE has these days, that AEW wish they had. Alright? But I don't really think at the end of the day you truly want to go up against the former AEW, IW, NJPW, AAA heavyweight fighter. I don't think you went up against a former AEW tag team fighter, from AEW Freeman tag team fighter, or the former TWF heavyweight fighter, or the two-time TF 24/7 fighter. I don't think, or even the world heavyweight, you don't go against that. Oh, is that right, huh? Well, I do, Osiris. I do, Jackal, whoever you calling yourself. And Kenny Omega, you're a joke. You can't fight your own fights without your friends. Yeah, Austin Theory, did we forget about Pretty Deadly being your underlings for some times, helping you out in your matches when you first went from Raw to SmackDown? You forget about that? Yeah, Kenny Omega says, you forget about that, Austin Theory. You got done scaping me for having Adam Cole and Adam Page and Mick Jackson and Matt Jackson helping me out, and you had Pretty Deadly doing it. Hold on here, Astronema says, I know that we're going to have a match, and everyone's come to see wrestling, they come to see fighting, or sportscally, or skilled wrestling, or whatever you want to call it. No one's really came to see you two bitch. So the way I look at it, Austin Theory, today we're going to see Kenny Omega take on Austin Theory here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Night Raw. And as far as getting Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson in the TWF, it's still working. One of these days we will get them in the TWF. And you, Austin Theory, you are not so good yourself. If Kenny Omega had Adam Cole and Adam Page, Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, and Kyle O'Reilly and Buddy Fish, and Roderick Strong helping him out for some time. Yeah, you had Vince McMahon helping you one time. Then you had Pretty Deadly doing that. So don't behave as if you're not guilty of not getting help. So here today, you get to fight Kenny Omega here today and on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Tonight Raw. Yeah, you hit me from behind one time. Yeah, 'cause you knocked me down by mistake or by mishap. And Ecliptor goes, if that happens again, you will be knocked down again. But not by mistake, not by mishap. Ecliptor goes, yeah, Astronema says, I'm the nearest thing to Adam Pearce, Shawn Michaels, Santino Marella we have. So, let's have the match now. Well, it seems that Astronema's flying disc or whatever it is fell off her leg again, which that happened. Anyone who has gotten Astronema 1 or Astronema 2 from Hasbro through Walmart, through either Amazon or Strong Woman, or through Walmart if they were lucky, or Target or Gold if they were lucky, knows all about that, Michael Cole says. But we got a match going on here today between Kenny Omega and Austin Theory, Michael Cole says. Now, Kenny Omega came to TWF around towards the end of 2021 YL, and he has won some winnings, but he hasn't really lived up to everything that he was going to do. He's done in AEW. Well, Trini Kwan said, if Kenny Omega can shut up Austin Theory, and I'll give Kenny Omega all the onlook in the world for winning sundriest heavyweight winnings and sundriest small wrestling businesses. Kenny Omega, a drop kick on Austin Theory. Kenny Omega picked Austin Theory with their body slam. As you can see, it's probably WWE fighting AEW, Michael Cole says. It is, Trini Kwan said, and Kenny Omega, if AEW ever did have a round over with WWE, which I don't think they ever will, they would have Kenny Omega leading the way. Trini Kwan said, oh yeah, right, huh? Well, why does Kenny Omega have to have the Jackal or Osiris with him? I mean, he can't fight his matches by himself. Oh, Wade Barrett says, I like how Austin Theory just put Kenny Omega in that bind, made him fall to his stunt, his lark. And now Austin Theory, a drop kick on Kenny Omega. And look, Wade Barrett says, now he's going to do everything that Kenny Omega was doing to him and doing more greater. Wade Barrett says, oh! And down goes Kenny Omega. Austin Theory truly believes that he's going to have the man to beat Kenny Omega downtown, but Kenny Omega got away. Oh, Austin Theory just gave him a neck breaker, which I guess would be a stunner if Steve Austin or Kevin Owens did it, Michael Cole said. Oh, the Jackal just stopped him. Oh! And now Austin Theory just knocked down the Jackal. Or Osiris, Michael Cole says. Why did he do that for? Because he's a creep, he's a bully, he's a heel, Trini Kwan said. That's why he did that. No, he did it because the Jackal or Osiris hit him first, so he had the right to hit him back. Kenny Omega is now in the bind. Uh-oh, Austin Theory's going to give him the A downtown. Kenny Omega dropping, got out of it, Michael Cole says. Down on Kenny Omega. It came down on Austin Theory, Michael Cole says. Will he get the win? Will the match overling get the 1-2 free on him? Trini Kwan said. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Wade Barrett said it's going to be a shame for a WWE doll to lose to a AEW doll. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Kenny Omega. So Kenny Omega has beat Austin Theory here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw. And we all know that's going to make Austin Theory, irked. Or if he's already irked, it's going to make him angry, Michael Cole says. But great for Kenny Omega beating Austin Theory here today on Alone Tonight Raw. Well, Trini Kwan said Austin Theory has now learned how it is to be shamed he should not been starting anything with me when he couldn't even. He started something with Kenny Omega and he couldn't even end it. Don't start something you can't end, Trini Kwan says. Well, I can tell you one thing, Michael and Trini. At the end of the day, Austin Theory will come back. He will get even with Adam. He will get even with Kenny Omega. And if Kenny Omega wants to bring Adam Cole and Adam Page into it, well, why not? He'll beat the shit out of those two as well, Wade Barrett says. Well, speaking of that, we have Mike Lane now. We now got Mike Lane, who's now going to be talking with Kenny Omega and the Jackal. That's right, Michael Cole. I'm going to be talking with the Jackal or Osiris or Kenny Omega here today on Alone Tonight Raw. And first off, Kenny Omega, what made you want to start something with Austin Theory? Because I'm sick and tired of folks running their mouth. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick of bullies and heels and creeps. Yes, I know I'm guilty of doing that same kind of shit in AEW. And WWE and TWF, I'm not guilty of that. Austin Theory likes to start shit and thinks he's the greatest thing out there since sliced bread. But I'm here to tell you it's not. You know, Austin Theory, he never got picked up by AEW. If he did, then I would have been beating him in AEW instead of doing it in the TWF. Anyway, Austin Theory, I never had to get over by taking sundrous likenesses from a Wise Wire's Far Speaker. Well, that's true. That was Austin Theory in the old days, during his 2-diff time on Raw. But since then, he's no longer that same man. Oh, he's not that same man or fellow or soul or being, I'll give him that. But he's still a creep, he's still a bully, he's still a heel, you know. And at the end of the day, I put him in his stead. Jackal, Cyrus, you want something to say? Yeah, Austin Theory is nothing more than one of those wrestlers that you see that are scaled, and you know, they think they're the shit, and they go around, they start shit with others. I should know, because I was an overseer of folks that did that. Yes, it's true, Kurgan didn't quite work out. Rhino was alright. Kenny Omega, well, anyway, it is what it is. So Austin Theory likes to think he's the greatest wrestler that ever lived. But I got news for you. My man Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler who ever lived. Now that's a thought. That's a belief. There is no truth to back it up. But the last time I looked, David Meltzer and Brian Zilzaz was never giving him 5 stars for any of his matches, either on NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. Well, that's my talk with Kenny Omega and the Jackal, or Osiris, or whatever you want to call him. Back to you, Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Mike Lane, for talking with Kenny Omega and the Jackal here today on here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw, my mistake. And, A downtown. How you like that? Oh, how you like that, Kenny Omega? Think you're greater than me? Well, looks like that. Yeah, looks like it is all the time we got here for Alone Tonight Raw. I, Michael Cole, Trini Kwan, and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Monday Night Raw or Alone Night Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.